She got a notice one afternoon, a threat to foreclose on her house unless she paid $24,600 in fines. The headline feels impossible until you see the cause. A small wooden sandbox in a fenced backyard, about 4 feet by 4 feet, with a few plastic toys scattered inside. The sandbox wasn't decorative. It was built for her son, who is autistic. It was a quiet corner designed to reduce sensory overload, a predictable place where he could play without fear. His occupational therapist wrote a letter stating the sandbox was a medically necessary accommodation under the Fair Housing Act. The letter explained how the controlled sensory environment helped him regulate, learn, and feel safe. When neighbors or the HOA noticed, the management company labeled it a violation of covenants. Fines accumulated, daily penalties that ballooned into a number that could force a foreclosure. $24,600 for a child's sandbox. It reads like a shock headline, but it was a legal reality she faced. A single mom squaring off against an HOA and its management firm. She pushed back. She filed a complaint with the State Housing Authority, naming the HOA's management company as the respondent. The complaint included the therapist's letter and a timeline of the notice and fines. The State Housing Agency reviewed whether the HOA was required to provide reasonable accommodations under the Fair Housing Act, and whether the fines and foreclosure threat were legally justified. The result: the foreclosure threat was withdrawn, and every fine was reversed. The state authority sided with her need for an accommodation. Recognizing the sandbox as part of a therapeutic plan, the management company backed down. The money and the threat disappeared. So who's the villain and who's the victim? The HOA's policies, enforced without flexibility, look like the villain to many. The single mom, trying to keep her child safe and calm, is an obvious victim. But there's complexity. Homeowners associations argue they must enforce rules to keep a neighborhood consistent, and management companies often follow strict protocols. Vote in the comments, villain or victim. Share your take, and if you want more updates on housing fights and disability rights, subscribe and hit the bell. New stories drop every day, real-life conflicts where simple things become legal flashpoints.